Make sure, guys, if you're going to camps this fall, that you're going to be on the level. This is why. All right, guys, so it's that time of year when programs are having players on campus for camps to see a guy one more time to get all the coaches' eyes on him, or maybe have a surprise kid show up and really show out and get an offer. But I think a lot of parents and players out there with all these new rules that are happening have no idea how to handle these camps. How many should you go to? Is it worth spending a lot of money on getting to some of these camps? And what I would say is that generally speaking, it's not worth going to a camp if the school doesn't know who your son is, if you've never had any communication with them, because the reality is this: although they may get a chance to see the kid, it's going to depend on what class he's in, how much that program is still recruiting that class, and then again, if they even need the position that he's playing in his class that he's going to be recruited in. So there's a lot of factors that go into this. One of the things we do with our clients is before every camp, we reach out to the coaches, make sure that they're still interested in the kid, they've gotten to see him play in the summer, and if not, at least they're still recruiting that position that he plays, and they've seen video of him and said, hey, the video looks great, we got to get eyes on him, get him to one of our camps. We make sure that's done for all of our clients, but for those out you that aren't working with us, it can be very difficult. And so I want to go over some of the things that are very important for those camps so you can make sure if you do get to them to show out. One, make sure you're in shape. Now, what I mean by that is you got to be in baseball shape. What a lot of guys do is that summer schedule is over. They go on a nice week-long vacation with their family, which is totally fine. Do that. You need to let your body rest. But if you got camps coming up in 2 or 3 weeks, you can't take 3 or 4 weeks off and show up to a camp without having done any work, not taking any swings in the cage, not throwing any bullpens, and hoping you're going to put your best foot forward in front of a coaching staff where first impressions last. And if you mess up that one time in front of a staff, they're probably going to write you off for the rest of the time. So make sure, guys, if you're going to camps this fall, that you're going to be in baseball shape. Working out, staying on top of your conditioning, everything like that. Now, number 2, don't be flying across the country to go to a camp. Stay local. The reality, guys, is that even with these changes with scholarships and roster sizes, most schools are still going to do the majority of their recruiting locally. So if you live in California, you don't need to be flying over to UNC to go to a camp. Now, I know Scott Forbes and Jesse Wiersbicki will probably really appreciate that, but you do not need to be flying across the country to go to a camp unless, like I said, you know 100% the coaching staff wants him at the camp, and they may even make him an offer. If you're going to travel that much, it's not worth going to unless you know there's a possible offer on the table. Number 3, limit it to 3 or 4 camps per fall. And the reason is this, guys. If you go to like 10 of these camps, 1, you're going to be spending way too much money. 2, your body's already exhausted from the summer, and you're going to 10 of these things, there's no way by the last 4 or 5 that you're going to be in top shape and then put up the same results as you did in those first 3 or 4. So I always recommend 3 or 4. Again, for our clients, all of our advisors will always reach out to schools to make sure that it's going to be worth your time to go, worth your money to go, and there's even a possibility of having an offer at the end of this camp if you put up the right performance. A lot of times, guys, what these camps are for is if a recruiting coordinator or an assistant coach has seen the player a lot during the summer, and they're kind of wanting to get the head coach's eyes on the player to get that final yes to make the offer. So a lot of times camps can be used to make that final decision. And again, that's something that we try to find out for all of our clients before camp so we know what's going to happen. The other thing is this, guys, with the fall coming up, it's not just important to get to camps, but it is important for you to take control of your own career and start game planning what you need to focus on for the fall to turn yourself into a better player. I can promise you, all of you high school players out there, the thing that's going to give you the biggest gains in your development is the weight room. Hitting the weight room hard, eating 4,500 to 5,000 calories a day, 150 grams to 200 grams of protein a day, and you're working out 4 to 5 days a week, I can promise you in 10 months, you're probably going to be 15 to 20 pounds heavier. You're going to be stronger in every lift. You're probably going to be faster, and you're going to look like a totally different player when you put on that uniform. Again, a lot of people talk about the physicality of the game now in college baseball, and that's true to some extent. You have elite tools, you're going to get to play. If you are a ball player, you're going to get a chance to play. Size is kind of the added benefit. If you have metrics, you're a ball player, you have ability, and you got size, that you hit the trifecta. I didn't have the size. I was 5'9", 150 pounds when I got to Georgia Tech. I started as a freshman, was a freshman All-American. You don't need to be this massive guy, but in my case, I had elite speed. I was a 6'3" runner and in the 60, and I had things that I could bring value to the team in the lineup because of that speed. If you don't have that, it's vitally important you hit the weight room, get as strong and as physical as you can, because it is true. College baseball is older now, a lot less freshmen playing in Division I. There's a lot of 21, 22-year-olds playing now. So get in the weight room, start that development plan again for our clients. We set up a development plan to where, hey, this is what you need to get better at. If you're going to play shortstop at the Division I level, the arm strength's got to improve, the actions have to improve, challenge yourself in those ground balls, but also let's get serious about nutrition in the weight room. Again, the most gains you will get in athleticism, strength, and just appearance fitting the bill of a college baseball player is your nutrition, eating 4,500 to 5,000 calories a day, 150 to 200 grams of protein, 4 to 5 times a week working out. You do that, guys, I promise you, by next summer, people will not even recognize the type of player you are. Okay? Hope this helps and it gives you guys a little bit of a game plan for the fall. Again, if you're interested in finding out what we do at Elite Sports Advising and getting a free evaluation where we'll meet with you, talk about where you're at right now in the process, what you need to do to get to where you want to be, go to our website, www.elitesportsadvising.com, fill out an eval request on our front page, and we'll meet with you shortly. Thanks for all the support, guys, and stay tuned for the next video.